control operator for the River City Arc's slow scan TV net. This net serves for training and practice in image transmission modes and meets Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. on the N6NA repeater on 441.30 megahertz. River City Arcs members and all licensed radio amateurs are welcome to participate. If you wish to join the net or need to make a call at any time, please announce your call sign between transmissions, and net control will acknowledge you. If an emergency should arise and you need the repeater, please contact the net control by saying break, break. A double break signifies emergency traffic. The net will stand by for you until the emergency is terminated or the traffic is moved to another frequency. Stations who wish to check in are asked to respond with their full call sign using the recognized ITU phonetic alphabet and their name. I'll recognize each station before continuing. Any station who wishes to check into the net, please come now.
November 6, Papa Golf, Quebec.
Kilo Lima 7, Hotel Quebec, Romeo Neil.
Neil, can you repeat your call? I'm sorry.
Roger, Kilo Lima 7, Hotel Quebec, Romeo.
Kilo 7, Hotel Quebec, Romeo. Was it Kilo or just 1 kilo?
1 kilo and a Lima. It's an Alaska call letter. Kilo Lima 7, Hotel Queen Radio.
Copy. I know that. It just kept getting buried. And Bob N6PGQ. Any other stations wishing to check into the net tonight?
November Romeo 6 Hotel, Anderson Folsom.
Good evening, November Romeo 6 Hotel. Any other stations wishing to check in tonight?
Yes, this is KP4AMD, Carol Citrus Sites, and we have Alpha Kilo November 6 Papa Romeo Delta on YouTube.
Good evening, Alf. Carol, KP4MD, and I'll check myself in, KN6QNJ. Any other stations participating tonight on the slow scan TV net? All right, because I know Neil is all queued up, Neil, are you ready to send your first photo?
Well, let's give it a try and see. I failed the last weekend, so let's give it a try at PD120KO7HQ.
1HQR, KN6QNJ. I have a good copy here. We'll let Bob comment first, N6TGQ.
Okay, well, we have what looks like 3 apples on the top and an apple and half an apple on the bottom. Maybe it's 2/3 of an apple and 1/3 of an apple on the bottom. The top 2 look like they have been coated with something, maybe caramel. So I don't know if Neil's getting ready for an evening dessert or something like that, but the pictures came through real well. The background looks like a marble countertop, and very, very few pixel pops, just a few that are recognizable in the green color of the apple. N6PGQ.
Thanks, Bob. Anders, NR6H.
I have to agree with Bob. Very good picture, good reception here. Excuse me. And something on a countertop for sure. We're looking at 4 fruits. The bottom one has been split in 2 halves. And what impresses me is that Neil has chocolate-covered fruit directly from his backyard. I have to do that separately, so, but I assume that this is from Neil's backyard. NR6H back to net.
Copy. Yes, and I'm not sure if it's apples or some other fruit. I certainly can see the marble counter and very few pixel pops. Carol, KP4MD.
Yeah, this is KP4MD. I also have the 5 fruit on the countertop. I very much doubt that this is a regular apple because it seems to have a different type of seed inside. It looks like a single pit that was sliced through on the left side. On the right side, it looks like it's been taken out of the center. I think that this is some kind of one of those tropical fruits that he gets from Brazil or something, because it's certainly not a standard apple. But nice clear picture here with hardly any pixel pops. Over.
Copy, Carol. Yes, and oh, that's all of us. Okay, Neil, what is this?
Not a Kilo Lima 7 Hotel Quebec Romeo. Everybody is absolutely correct. It is fruit. Definitely not an apple. I can tell you the largest diameter of those is around 1 3/4 to 2 inches, the diameter of the whole fruit. It is from my backyard, and I'm sorry, Anders, it does not come with caramel or chocolate covered from the tree. I never heard of this fruit before until about 5 years ago when we saw this for sale at the nursery. And this year we have a bumper crop. It's called a jujube, K-U-J-U-B-E, jujube. And that is the sequence. The one on the right-hand side, the green one, is already mature, proper, and edible. When you cut it, you see exactly like Kara says, one seed in the middle. And then gradually it becomes brown, and a very shiny brown. And then as you leave it on the tree, it will develop some corrugation, and it becomes a little bit rubbery on the outside. It is edible at all phases, and the flavor does change. And I have plenty of it, so I should have brought some yesterday, but wonder if anybody ever heard of jujubes.
KL7 HQR. I have heard of them, but I've never seen them, or at least never seen one cut open, so very interesting.
K60.
We had 2 of you. Anders, go first.
I believe that was Joel. It wasn't me.
Oh, Joel, AI6DG, are you joining us tonight? That's great.
Roger, Roger. Saw that last picture. Got SSTV loaded just in time to get it, and I would have never guessed whatever that was. How big is the fruit? How big are these things?
The large size one is about 2 inches in diameter.
That's decent size. Thanks for that. AI6DG back now.
Thanks, Joel. Any other questions or comments for Neil, and then we will move to Bob, N6PGQ. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I remember getting they had a candy they would sell in the theaters. They were called jujubes. They were these little hard gumdrops that looked like pencil erasers. They came in different colors, and I didn't know that there was a plant fruit with that name. Does anybody else remember those candies?
N6QNJ. I remember those, Carol. Actually, I do.
Yeah, I think somebody else doubled with you at your very beginning. I heard you said you did hear them, James. Did somebody else also? Over.
I think I was the only one that commented. Did anybody else comment on the movie Candy?
L7HQR, I also remember it slightly too well.
I recall they were not my favorite. I liked the hot tamales, as I recall. I think they still make those. The cinnamon flavored ones. Any other comments or questions? All right, thanks, Neil, KL7HQR. Bob, N6PGQ. Go ahead, please.
Okay, this should be PD 120.
N6PGQ. I got good copy, very few pixel pops. Joel, AI6DG, do you want to comment first?
Okay, so we've got a waterfall spectrum and waterfall display off of something. The frequency 28.360 is displayed in center on top, so that's 10 meters. And it looks to me like we've got a whole bunch of signals and probably upper sideband. We've got it's not FT8, so it's obviously much wider than that, and they're not regular like that. And I see, I guess the frequency we're tuned to kind of to just slightly to the left of center. I see a big peak signal on the spectrum side, like on the extreme right, that looks a bit odd. Other than that, just a waterfall display of some kind. Back to net, DI6DG.
Thanks, Joel. Anders, NR6H.
I would second everything that Joel said. We're looking at a photo of an Acer monitor running Windows, probably of an older flavor, because it says help at the bottom. Control H help. That's interesting. Or maybe it's not Windows. Maybe it's actually, at first I thought it was the system tray, but it actually says Control H help down at the lower right corner. Anyway, some form of waterfall. I would bet that this has something to do with the QSO party that was going on this weekend. We're looking at the lower part of 10 meters. So, yeah, good activity down there for sure. Something I've so far never been able to see on 10 meters. So I have something wrong with my 10 meter capabilities here. 15 is fine, but 10 doesn't work at all for me. So, this looks like a fun QSO party snippet. NR6H, back to net.
Thanks, NR6H. This is KN6QNJ. Bob, N6PGQ.
Well, this is part of my ongoing advertisement for ham technicians to get on the air. Let me break this. This is N6PGQ. The waterfall is showing activity in the early afternoon on Saturday for the California QSO party, and each one of those waterfalls is a unique station making contacts or trying to make contacts. The green cursor that's there going up and down, I don't know what you call it, the green indicator, is showing that it's tuned to the frequency on the display, and since it's upper sideband, you're tuning to the upper portion of the waterfall to get it in tune. The monitor is an older Acer, and you can see that it says Acer down at the bottom, and it's just a direct feed from my Elecraft P3 pan adapter, and the Control H help is part of the pan adapter's software. You can plug a keyboard in the back of the pan adapter, and it has a help screen that helps you figure out what buttons to push and things like that. So that was early afternoon Saturday on the 10-meter portion of the band in the California QSO party, N6PGQ.
Thanks, Bob. Yeah, 10 meters is really opening up. Carol, I apologize. I did not give you a chance to comment. So here's the trade-off. You can comment now, and then it'll be your turn next to send a picture.
Okay, not a problem. This is KP for MD. I second everything that Bob says. I was going to comment that looked like probably a bunch of 10-meter activity from the California QSO party. And thanks for sharing that, Bob. Really nice picture capture of your, just a camera capture of your Acer monitor. Okay, I'll be sending a picture here, and this is going to be PD120. It's KP4MD.
Carol, you're good. I am really impressed. KP4MD, this is KN6QNJ, and I think I will call on Bob to make the first comment. Actually, you know what? I'm going to call on Neil because this relates to his picture. So, Neil, you go first. KL7HQR.
Wow. Talk about quick draw there. Your access to records is fantastic, Carol. And yeah, fantastic copy here. Just a few hits on the primarily on the green area, but the color came in absolutely perfect throughout the whole picture, primarily on the bottom with all the colorful candy. So no problem at all. I don't remember it being on green boxes, but I remember the candy. It's kind of nice to see that they say that is fat-free candy. I don't see anything talking anything about sugar, so it's kind of interesting. Good call, Carol. Very, very quick location there. Back to me.
Thanks, Neil. KL7HQR. It's very bright. The photo's like the most vibrant photo I've seen on SSTV since I've been doing it. Anders, why don't you share your thoughts, please? All right. We'll move to Joel, AI6DG.
So we've got a green candy box, and a light green, and a very bright light green, and in white letters, Jujubes. And below that, to the right, is a caricature of a bee with its tongue out and very wide smile and bright eyes. And to the left of that on the box is printed these like pellet-shaped candies in different colors, yellow, orange, purple. And in the upper right corner of that, it's in a purple background, white font, starred background, a fat-free candy. Well, that kind of takes most of the fun out of it. And you're right. At least it doesn't say no sugar. That would have been totally bummer. And then on the white tabletop in front of the box are the actual pellet-sized candies. And again, red, orange, yellow, green, and purple. Yeah. And this is not my type of candy. To me, it's not a candy if there's not chocolate in it somewhere. Got to have some chocolate. And all the fat and sugar you can fit into it. The more, the better. Back to net, AI6DG.
Thanks, Joel. On YouTube, Craig, WP2N, says that he lost 2 teeth eating those ones, but they're good. Anders, are you back in our 6H? Okay, well, Carol, please, oh, wait, Bob, N6PGQ, you haven't commented on this one yet. Please go ahead.
Nope. The box looks kind of like I remember it, but I don't remember it saying a fat-free candy, and I don't remember it having the number of grams on the box. I think I'm a little bit older to be remembering jujubes at a movie theater, and all I remember is I didn't like the taste of them when I tried them, so I've only had them once. N6PGQ.
Thanks, Bob. Again, Carol, I don't know where you found this, but it's just so vibrant. Really came through very well. Any other comments or questions for Carol on this picture? And if Anders is back, go ahead and give us your thoughts.
Well, I don't think anybody's making any further comments. This is KP4MG. This is the current type of box that they sell these jujubes in. The original box, if you, I found actually by doing a quick Google search for jujube pictures. The boxes that we saw in our childhood were white colored, and they just had I think about 7 or 8 pictures of the little jujube candies, and they were made by a company called Heidi, Heide. So yeah, they were quite common in the theaters. That and Juji fruits, I think, were also made by the same company, and the Juji fruits were a little softer, but these jujubes were hard, and I could see where you could break a tooth on them if you tried to chew it. They were just really hard, but they kind of were tempting for you to chew them because they were kind of gummy also. KP for MT.
Yeah, I remember that. Any other comments for Carol?
07HQR.
Go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, two things. First, I felt all of a sudden on Papa's Carol's signal, there was just a check noise, very with a rhythm to it. It was like it stopped when she stopped transmitting. I don't know if it was me here or everybody else heard. And second, I put on YouTube a link just to close down the YouTube subject. I put a link to a whole bunch of pictures of the plants and everything. So back to you.
Thanks, Neil. KL7HQR. I assume that while the plant and the candies sort of share a name, there's no other relation. In other words, the ingredients from the fruit you shared is probably not an ingredient in these candies. That's kind of a question. What do you think, Neil?
Well, I don't know, but I would say that you're absolutely correct. I don't see any reason or any possibility that there is a link at all.
I think you're probably right. Carol, any last thoughts or comments on this?
No, but perhaps it's worth a little bit more investigation to see how the name of the fruit, that a candy was named after the fruit, or vice versa, which I doubt very much. It's KP for MD.
Thanks, KP4MD, N6QNJ. AI6DG, Joel, are you ready to share a photo?
Let me know if I have tone.
Affirmative, you have good tone.
PD120, and this is a repeat, but it's that time of year, so I feel justified.
Hey, Joel, I have a good photo. It looks like a bunch of people on a cruise ship building models. No, I'm be interested. I don't think I've seen this photo before, but maybe I have. Bob, N6PGQ.
Well, you know, I always miss most of these things. It looks like we're in a convention center somewhere. Looks to me like in the very back left side there's a table with a coffee pot and some maybe different cream and sugar things on there. And the rest of the people are demonstrating things at their table. And I don't see any antennas sticking up or radio type gear. So it probably isn't a radio convention. But it's, maybe a jewelry, coin and jewelry show, something like that. That's my guess, which usually is about 90 degrees off in 6PGQ.
That's pretty good. I was wondering if it's a photography show or something. Neil, KL7HQR.
KL7HQR, good copy on the picture. Beautiful room with all those bright lights on the ceiling. And again, I agree. It looks like a show, a convention, or some kind of a big reunion. Knowing from Joel, I would assume that it could be aboard ship. But I have not personally been aboard the ship that has a room like this, because it looks like there are separations there that you could separate the back room from this one. So it would indicate more like a hotel. And so I wonder if it is in Las Vegas. I think he knows Las Vegas extremely well. So back to that.
Thanks, Neil. NR68, Anders.
I'm sorry, I had to step away there a little bit, so I missed a few minutes, but I am back, and I'm seeing a picture from Joel here. Very good reception, good colors. Resolution suffers a little bit, so it's hard to see what's on the tables, but I'm gonna throw out the guess that this is it has to do with radios. On the left there, it looks like a lot of like mobile mounts, like what you would see from a car. Maybe head units sticking up on the blue tablecloth there. So I'm going to say that this is last year's specific on NR6H. Back to that.
Thanks, NR68. KP4MD.
Yeah, this is KP4MD. I'm going to agree with Anders. Actually, I've seen this view so many times in person. It's kind of hard to miss it. That's the LIDO mount table there in the foreground on the left. And then on the right of that center partition is the ham radio outlet section. That little table that has the little yellow books, stacks of yellow books and blue books. Those are the Gordon West study guides for the different licenses. That's normally what Gordon West hangs out right there. He's, I don't know if that's actually him. I don't think that's him there looking down. But yep, that looks like the exhibit hall, one of the large exhibit hall rooms in the San Ramon Marriott. Back to net. It's KP4MD.
Thanks, Carol. Okay, Joel, AI6TV.
So how many are you all going to PacificCon next weekend? Not this weekend, next weekend. I'll definitely be there. I'm looking forward to it, and that's what I meant by it's that time of year. Yes, this is PacificCon from last year. Yes, that's Lido on the left. Yes, that's Gordon West on the right. And that's actually Gordon West in with the mask, with the chin mask on behind the table. HRO behind him. Icon in the down the aisle on the right with the big red sign. Telecraft on the far wall. Actually, Buddy Pole was in the left corner, back left corner, demoing their Buddy Hex, and I'm actually very much looking forward to seeing if they're there and whether they're finally selling Buddy Hexes. The so-called coffee table on the extreme left was actually a jewelry table. That table really stood out. I wonder how their business was at the show. And I wonder how much bigger the vendor area is going to be, because this was pretty much it. I mean, last year it was a lively show, but you could tell that it was smaller, particularly in the vendor area. Woohoo! Pacificon, see you there. Back to net AI6TG.
Thanks, Joel. I'm going probably all day Saturday. Just a question. I'll ask Joel first. Are the vendors selling product there or just showing product?
Mostly selling. There might be some that have no or limited stock. But for the most part, I would say selling. And there's also the swap Sunday morning. But you said you're going Saturday, so that eliminates that. But yeah, go to pacificon.org. Somewhere in there they should have an hour-by-hour schedule of what's going on each day. I'll be there from Thursday afternoon all the way through to Sunday afternoon. I'll be activating the parking lot on Thursday and my hotel room the rest of the time. And maybe the parking lot on Sunday. I don't know. Usually I get completely wiped out by then and nap until it's just too late to set up and do any operation, and then just drive home. Back to you, Net AI6TG.
Thanks, Joel. Okay, good. Any questions or comments for Joel or about Pacificon?
6KEN.
Go ahead, Ken.
I snuck in here real quick. I heard Joel commenting about the Buddy Hex. Yeah, I wouldn't hold your hopes on maybe seeing one, but not purchasing. I actually put myself on the list back in June, and he contacted me a month ago saying, hey, do you still want to buy one? I immediately responded, I think within 30 minutes, and he's been dead silent ever since. So I contacted them on the phone, their one guy that seems to work there, and he said, yeah, they're bad at responding. But I still have hopes that maybe I'll get one this year.
Well, that's good to know. I've not seen the Buddy whole system in real life, and I'm wondering if it would be good for my HOA situation. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they have. Thanks for joining us, Ken. Any questions or comments? And Ken, let me ask you, do you want to send a photo tonight?
Negative, just happened to have the radio on and heard you guys on.
Okay, thanks for letting us know. Any other comments or questions about Joel's picture or Pacificon? Okay, NR68, it's your turn.
All right. First, a quick comment that I am going to try to be on Pacificon at least one day, and it's going to be Friday because that's my only chance. Then my weekend is full. So, yeah, I'm driving down Friday morning and back Friday night, see if how that is. And actually signed up for the antenna seminar too, so see how that is. So this is going to be a PD-120.
copy here. I will not comment because I know what this is, but let's ask Carol, KP4MD, to comment first.
Okay, yeah, this is KP4MD. This looks like a waterfall, and going down the center of the waterfall, there is some a graphic design and some writing. It's upside down and inverted. If you read from the bottom up, it says hello, and then above that it says N6TYF, and then something else there. I'm not that good at reading backwards and upside down. I figured the other one just looking at it. And this is on a, I don't know if this is SDR Play or some other, maybe a Flex Radio screen. But my Flex Radio, I'm using Power SDR. They have the feature where you could type in your call sign and then send it as tones, so that it would appear scrolling down the waterfall of somebody who's watching a waterfall. It looks like this is something similar to that. So very interesting. I mean, you just hear a bunch of tones on there, but it comes out as a picture on the waterfall. Back to Net's KP4MD.
Thanks, Carol. Neil, KL7HQR.
KL7HQR. Well, good copy. It looks like a screen. I managed to read hello, but I could not get the rest of it like Carol indicated. I do see, of course, the obvious writing on the left and right with a date and R6H. A lot of what appears to be equalizer and either audio or just hammer equipment in the back behind the monitor. So curious to know the details, specs in it.
Thanks, Neil. N6PGQ, Bob.
Well, everybody got the hello. I got that part. The rest of it looks like audio mixers on the right and some equalizers, and I can't tell exactly what's on the top. It looks like a piece of test gear or radio gear. So I'll turn it back to everybody else, N6PGQ.
Joel, AI6DG.
Well, obviously no one here has a Flex running Smart SDR, because this is obviously Smart SDR. Everything there is standard except that he's on, I would guess, 160 meters, and that the waterfall is spelling something. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'd like to know what the software is that does that. But if it's backwards and upside down, I'm a little confused, because every waterfall I've ever seen has it in this orientation. So why would they be putting it in up backwards and upside down? Why wouldn't they reverse it and put it correct? But cool stuff. I'd like to hear what it sounds like. Back to Net, AI6DG.
It's like looking through a concave lens. What's interesting is that the audio equipment on the right does look like it's audio equipment, but I know it's actually just part of the picture on the screen. Anders, NR6H, tell us about this, please.
Well, it seems like I was the most surprised when I saw this and heard it. So this is from Saturday morning during the QSO party, and I heard chatter. This is on 40 meters, and I heard chatter. People were talking about what was going on, and I saw this on my waterfall, but I was zoomed out, so to me it just looked like a blurb, and people were talking about it and saying, yeah, the guy is just spamming with pictures, and he's not IDing, and they were kind of complaining about this person here. So I moved over and zoomed in. So I had to basically the width of this graphics here is 3 kilohertz, right? So it's sent as sideband audio, and so it was only taking up a narrow piece of the band. He wasn't all over the band, but he was sending these pictures, multiple pictures after each other, And I looked at it, and didn't look too closely at it, so I thought it looked weird, and I said, that looks like Russian, that looks like Cyrillic. And then I kind of closed it and kept going with my QSOs on the QSO party. And then, what was it, last night, I showed this to Orion and James, who we were on the Zoom during the class, the general class, and both of them were like, that's not Cyrillic, that's just upside down and backwards. And sure enough, it is. So, and right in the middle there, the guy actually IDs. So KN6TYF is his ID, and on his QRZ page, he actually talks about this, that he's doing this. And the stuff above it is the logo for Flex Radio, and the stuff above that, it says Apache Labs, which is another SDR, high-end SDR manufacturer. And like Joel said, the overall screenshot is just straight out of the Flex Radio software, so that's what it is. Short story, NR6H, back to net.
Thanks, Anders. I think it's so interesting that that was all crammed into 3 kilohertz and you were able to blow it up. Other comments or questions for Anders, and then I'll send a photo.
Yeah, this is KP for MD.
Go ahead, Carol.
Yeah, like I said, I'm running the Flex Radio 3000 and the Flex Radio 1500, and that uses not Smart SDR but Power SDR. And the current versions of Power SDR that really have been very much enhanced with a lot of new features has this type of feature in it. I could do that. I mean, all that it has is that you type in your call sign, and then you push the button, and then over the course of about 2 or 3 seconds, it'll send your call sign this way, and it'll appear on the waterfall. I don't have any of the graphics, so this guy who's done this actually has really enhanced that little software app to be able to convert text and images into tones that will appear this way on a waterfall. It's pretty nifty. It's KP4MD.
KP4MD, KN6QNJ. Yeah, I mean, the Flex Radio logo is what I recognized right away when Anders showed this last night during the general class we're helping to teach, and that's what made me realize it was not Cyrillic. Yeah, I don't know how you do that. Fancy software. Anybody else have comments for Anders about his photo or the experience here?
Do you know if you can run Power SDR with the newer Flex radios? I don't know if that's possible.
No, they're not compatible at all. Yeah, what it does apparently is it takes the text and it converts it into a raster, where it just scans each line, and depending where you are, to the left or right on the line, you have to go in a higher frequency, and that's how it converts it into a sweeping tone. Over.
Yeah, Roger, I think the technology would be pretty simple, actually. May even be something I want to sharpen my fingers on, writing a piece of software like that, unless somebody has already done it. It's probably on GitHub already, so I shouldn't reinvent the wheel. But yeah, fun stuff, and it was, to me, this was novel. I had not seen this before. I had heard about it, but not seen it, and certainly not during a contest. That's it for me. NR6H, back to James.
Thanks, Anders. It's kind of like the ham version of 3D printing. It is very interesting. Bob, Neil, Joel, any other comments? All right, I'm going to send a picture PD120. let's start with Joel, AI6DG.
Excellent reception, bright colors. Repeater ID just a little bit above center of the photo. So we've got a bit of a bar. On the left, we've got an open window. The window is pivoted open, so we're seeing a reflection of a sunset with orange and colored clouds on the horizon. Kind of a grassland, occasional tree, hillside out the window with again some clouds and a nice blue sky, contrasted against the bright orange and red coloring of inside of the room that we're in, with the curtain and the wall being an orange, and we can see some shadows and sunlight on the wall. So there must be some more windows behind us letting the sunset in. I don't know, maybe Tuscany, Italy, south of France. Looks someplace pretty and very vacation-y. Back to net, AI6DG.
Thanks, Joel. Bob, N6TGQ.
Well, I can't say much more than that, but I really like the exposure of the picture. You can see the inside of the rustic room is lit well, and the windowsill is contrasting. Looks like a rock wall or some kind of wall on the outside that you can barely see. And a nice scene on the outside, nice green grass and blue sky and clouds. Good picture, and very, very few pixel pops in 6PGQ.
Thanks, Bob. KL7HQR.
Basically the same. Very, very good copy, and it's kind of hard to follow you guys because you guys describe it so well that it's hard to come up with anything else to say. But yeah, good copy, and really enjoyed that one. Excellent.
Thanks, Neil. Anders, NR6H.
Also an excellent copy. I do have a disturbance line in the middle, but other than that, very good colors. It's interesting, the color contrast between the inside and the outside here. It almost looks photoshopped with that stark contrast between the indoor orange-red light and the outdoor full-spectrum light. So very cool. The house is clearly not American standard. This is a real house with solid walls and hinges on the windows. So it looks doesn't look like something in the Folsom for sure. And yeah, very nice picture, very nice reception. And R6H back to that.
Thank you, Anders. This is KN6QNJ for ID. Carol, KP4MD.
Yeah, this is picture came through very, very clearly, as you could also see on YouTube. But I don't know. It's just a contrast in color of the sky. The sky that you're seeing through the window is more blue, and then what you're seeing in reflection in the window, the window that's actually the glass, it looks kind of more orangey and yellow. Very vivid color. So it looks like it's either dawn or dusk, or I'm not sure if this is actually a picture of some kind of a painting. The colors are just so vivid. Back to nets, KP for MT.
Well, thank you all. Well, Joel, you were right. This is Tuscany. My wife is in Tuscany right now with a bunch of friends, and this is a picture that she took looking out the room that she's staying in a castle. And yeah, so that's what this is. And that photo just came out so well. She took it with an iPhone 12 mini, and I loved the composition, and I think I could tell that you guys all did too. You really notice it. It almost does look Photoshop, but it's just taking a photo out of her window. So should suggest this location for Pacificon next year.
Another one here. Tower. Again, wait for it to agree.
For me?
Start the transmit. And if I'm running at 192K sample rate, if you run it at, let's say, a Flex 3000 or a 1500, and you're running at a smaller sample rate, this image is going to go a lot bigger.
Go ahead, Neil. I heard somebody else out there too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to let you know that this is an impressive picture. Mainly after you described how it was taken, I did think it was a Photoshop worked on picture. This is really good. She has a great eye for the composition. So congratulations.
Thank you. I think it's great that she's having such a great time. I'll tell you that I'm losing some weight. The refrigerator's empty, and she won't be back till Sunday. So I think I'm going to have to go to the store. Any other comments or questions before I close the net?
And R6H?
Go ahead, Anders.
Yeah, so it was pretty quick on Google to find the software that makes those waterfall pictures. It's called Skytopia, skytopia.com/software/Sonic Photo. So Sonic Photo is the software made by Skytopia that produces images that can be viewed on a waterfall. So I guess that's the poor man's version of slow scan TV, maybe. And R6H, back to net.
That's very interesting. Well, I look forward to seeing, it's something I bet you do. I could imagine some of you others may also try to do that. Very interesting. Any other last comments or questions before we close the net? Hearing none, thank you to everybody who participated in tonight's Slow Scan TV Net. We hope to see you again next Wednesday at 9 p.m. The net is officially closed at 10:04 p.m. Pacific time. This is James, KN6QNJ, wishing all of you a very good evening.